Hello there and welcome to Lord of the Rings Realms in Exile, where today we are starting a new playthrough as Bountig Medlacan. So Bountig Medlacan is one among a sea of many who eke out a living upon the windswept steppes of Rhûn. Born into low circumstance and cast to the winds by tragedy, the young Bountig now is a sellsword. He has heard word of a great raid to the west against Rohan, one which promises much wealth and glory to those who take the risk. Yet though he may seem an indigent mercenary, Bountig's resilience is matched by his will and vision. Beyond this petty war, where there is more for him, he knows it. Can Bountig unite the squabbling tribes and clans of Rhûn, and build a new realm to rival the splendour of Gondor and Harad Wraith? Or shall he be another footnote in the tale of the Great Steppe? That is the answer, or the question I guess I should say, that we are trying to find the answer for. Right, when it comes to game rules, I'm going to stick everything on default. And let's go ahead and get started. I'm quite excited for this. I've played him a little bit in the early access, and I think he's becoming very quickly one of my favorite characters to play in this mod. So, the roads we walk. The path ahead stretches on and on, a lonely winding thread twining towards the distant horizon. My camp is quiet, just a few scattered tents and pack animals yawning in the breeze. Strangers and hangers-on rise with the day, preparing for their morning chores with reluctance. Most of the miscellaneous chaff that flit in and out of a group on the road with each new settlement. Few faces catch my eye as ones I recognize, at least in more than passing. So we get to pick the type of camp that we want. We will look at our character in more detail, but we do seem to have a preference for martial, diplomacy, and prowess. So I think let's go for some good scrappers. We start out with 2 followers skilled in prowess, and those will be our companions for this great journey we are about to set off on. And let's see, do we have any special events to kick off? We do. Let's go ahead and read this, and then we'll read our culture, our faith, and all of this good stuff. You guys know how I like to play. The first episode especially, I like to read everything, get a feeling for the lore, and just get ourselves immersed into the playthrough. So, Ashes in the Wind. They came suddenly in the night, the camp set ablaze, the animals scattered to the wind, blood and terror sown in their wake, as women are carried off and warriors lay dead in the dirt. The survivors gather, the young shaken by the event, and the old accepting it with a weathered wariness. One greybeard consoles me softly for my loss, but this is how it has been since the days of his own grandfather. Life moves on, and we must bear what it brings, good or ill. Already plans are being drawn up to move on, to seek and gather what animals can be found, and then try to move to a new spot less likely to be accosted by the vile barbarians of Khand. Yet what now do I have here? The life I had hoped to forge is now gone, my wife dead or lost to the grass seas. It would be a labour of years to find her on my own, if I cared at all. My humble visions no more. What worth is living a life such as this? There is nothing trying me here anymore. Perhaps the wider world shall guide me to a better dawn. So I can seek my futures in the sword companies to the west, or I can pick this one, but this ends all the story content. So I guess this is the way we're going. I shall seek my future in the sword companies to the west. We cannot marry, but I imagine we will get some story events which will allow us to marry in the future. And there we go. We have region exploration available. Something new. But before we do that, let's take a look at Bountig and everything that he has to offer. So, with that said, we are good at diplomacy, we're good at martial, we're okay at stewardship, okay at learning. To be honest, we're okay at intrigue as well. We're pretty okay at everything, and we've got okay prowess too. We are ambitious. Bountig knows what he wants, and he is not afraid to try and get it. We are wrathful. Bountig is quick to anger and fury. And we are diligent. Bountig does not shy away from hard work. We are also a great eminence. We cannot marry. We are shrewd, which gives us a bunch of stats. And also Herculean. So actually a very nice start when it comes to trait and whatnot. As for our culture and faith, we follow the pantheon of Rhûn. So it's an organized totalitarian faith. The ancient faith of Rhûn is rooted in a wide pantheon of gods and spirits absorbed from the waves of people who have migrated into the region. Because of this, regional beliefs often vary, with some spirits prioritized over others in particular locations. At the faith's core is a central divine pantheon with 2 primary progenitor gods. We have Kor Shahaigun, god of the darkness, and Her Erika, god of the light. They are coexistential, coming into existence at once. But Korra Shahagun desired stillness and eternal sleep, where her Eriga desired to fill the cosmos with song and light, emotion and change. Their visions clashed within the primordial void, and from their clash came the other gods, and indeed the world itself, wrought from their commingled might. The two fell into a deep slumber, their strength all but spent until the last day, when all living things shall have to choose whose vision to follow, if a third path may not be found. In their absence, the world was left to their children, of whom both gods, spirits, and mortals are accounted. In all things now are light and shadow intermingled, or in greater or lesser measure, and none can exist without the other piece. Those who deny this, deny themselves. So that's some cool flavor that I haven't played in the East too much, so I'm actually really excited to read about all the faiths and the cultures and whatnot. This will be a fun little exploration for me, I think. So when we look at our tenets, we have adaptive, county conversion resistance plus 30%, and infidel vassals are less likely to join independents and populist factions. And then all runics, we have opinion of different faith liege plus 15, different faith liege opinion plus 15, and different faith popular opinion minus 25%. Dogmatic adherence to old restrictions only harms the faithful. As long as we stay true to the core beliefs of our faith, we may adapt our laws to the world around us. So it seems quite accepting, all things considered. We also have Esterism. Children with the learning education focus may gain the wise man trait if they do well in their studies. And then wise man also becomes virtuous. The great mysteries of the divine may be beyond mortal comprehension, but that is not an excuse for ignorance. Their very existence compels us to seek knowledge and understanding of the world around us. Interesting. And then we also have ritual celebrations. Hosting a feast earns piety. Very nice. Vassals are more likely to attend your feasts. Those who still refuse to come will lose piety for doing so. And it unlocks the brewing house building for temples, which gives us... I don't know, actually. We'll have to see what that gives us in the future when we become landed. And all runics gain vassal opinion and courtier opinion. The worship of the divine is something to be exalted in and shared with our community. Organizing great festivals to honor and praise the divine brings us all together. So it seems like quite a harmonious faith so far, which is very nice. So chaste and deceitful are sins, whereas brave, compassionate, and wise man are virtuous. We are male-dominated. We are pluralist, theocratic. Pilgrimages are encouraged. And we have a people apart. All faiths are considered hostile. Okay, maybe we're not as accepting as I thought. There is no need to involve ourselves in the concerns of other peoples. We have our own gods and our own traditions and have no need of theirs. Right. So my followers, my vassals would be more accepting of me, but I'm not, I guess. I think that's how I'm interpreting that. So we can only have one wife. Divorce is disallowed as well, but we can't marry, so we'll have to worry about that in the future. Bastards can be legitimized. Marriage between any extended family members and or close family is forbidden. So that includes things like aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces. Yes. Yes, and nephews. So we'll remember that. As for our crime doctrines, everything is criminal other than witchcraft, which is accepted, interestingly enough. And it seems like I can elect my realm priest at any time I want, which is nice. And any gender can fill that role as well. Right. When it comes to holy sites, we already control 2 of them. And they all seem kind of nearby, so that's going to be a long-term goal, I guess, is gaining control of our holy sites. Right, what about when it comes to our culture? So we are Asdriag. The Asdriags are the most warlike of the Loriak clans, last to arrive around the Sea of Rhûn, and the primary driving force behind the Baulkoth Empire. They are steeped in a martial tradition, which reveres the warrior and the glory of battle, and status in Asdriag society is determined as much by one's martial ability as their birth. So this is the Sea of Rhûn here, I believe. Yeah, Sea of Rhûn, which I'm gonna read about all the lore and stuff, because as I said, I am new to the East. So if you're also new to the lore, this might be a good series for you. We're gonna explore all of this. This is one of the things I love about this mod, is how much lore and whatnot is inside of here. Because there's so many books on Middle-earth, which I'm slowly making my way through them. But this is a good way of learning stuff that's relevant to the playthrough without having to go and dig for it, which is very nice. So, the Sea of Rhûn. The inland sea, also known as the Sea of Rhûn in the Westlands, is the great freshwater sea in the center north of Middle-earth. Fed by the many streams of Ravanian, the inland sea sustained its own rain cycle and was a vital source of trade, food, and water for the peoples of the region. Around its shores settled many peoples. Some Gondorian scholars speculate that the inland sea may be the last great remnant of the inland sea of Haulakar, with the Sea of Nurnen speculated to be another, but many other scholars dispute this idea. Interesting stuff. See, I like to learn all these tidbits. It just helps me get immersed a little bit. Right. Well, I think that is everything to kickstart our playthrough. We don't have any artifact. We don't need a council because we are, in fact, landless at the moment. We are in control or in charge of Bountig's wandering band. When it comes to our followers, we have Obad the Chaste, which is sinful, 15 prowess. And we have Hesnev Longshanks, also with 16 prowess, also athletic. Let's go ahead and see. I think officers is what we need to do. So I need a personal physician. You both are terrible, though. What about a caravan master? You're poor as well. What about a second? Right. Average. Here, Hesnev, I'm going to make you my second. A caravan master would be nice, but I'm gonna... Actually, it's free, so we could probably change at any point, right? Let's get some bodyguards. You can both serve as bodyguards, which makes me happy. And I guess... Oh, you can only have one role, right. In that case... I'll leave it like this for now. I'm gonna wait till I find someone a bit more skilled for this. Contracts available. Let's look at that in a moment. I can do a camp purpose. Let's become a sword for hire, because that's what our flavor text entailed at the start, and we get this very cool looking armor and shield. I haven't actually played Landless properly yet on the channel, so this would be very exciting. Right, few champions. Can I have an accolade? No, I don't even have any men-at-arms. Those cost gold. Do you know what I just remembered? We didn't read our culture properly. I want to know whether we have some units which would be beneficial for us to focus on. So, we are bellicose, mercenary companies, plus 50% availability. All the characters gain prowess. Men-at-arms are cheaper to recruit and they're cheaper to maintain. Minority vassal opinion minus 10, and we also gain plus 10% levy size in our holdings. This culture considers conflict and violence to be necessary states of existence. Ingrained in its people is the idea that one should stand up and fight for their own. So we have the Loriag heritage, Loradia language, martial is men only, and we have our own aesthetics as well, which is cool stuff. Right. So we have the ruling caste. Different culture, peasant factions and populist factions are less common. Convert to local culture decision costs 300% more prestige. And rulers were seldom used to promote culture councillor task. Okay. Culture acceptance gain minus 25%, and all Asdria characters. We maintain our dread more easily. We gain dread more easily. And siege progress against revolts plus 25%. Rulers of this culture are used to lording over subjects that are not their own culture. They know how to effectively suppress revolts, though at the cost of public perception. We are also pastoralists. The cattle pastures line of buildings have additional bonus in counties of this culture, and the construction of coops building unlocks the first 4 tiers of manor houses line of buildings. Ooh. Okay. So that would be good for money, because manor houses give a lot of money. All characters gain plus 1 prowess, and we also get disease resistance and travel speed. This culture is at home in the wide and open terrain, where they herd large groups of animals. Speaking of which, we also have horse breeders, so the stables line of building can be constructed 1 era early, and can also initiate horse race activities. I think that's something new. And then all characters, we get cheaper maintenance and recruitment cost for archer cavalry, light cavalry, and heavy cavalry. So far, I'm getting a feeling for cavalry units. This culture has painstakingly accumulated knowledge and experience in the fine art and science of horse breeding. Whether destriers or coursers, the horses of these people are renowned for their superiority. We also have by the sword, no limit to the number of kingdom-level holy wars that can be declared by one ruler. That's going to be fun in uniting Rhûn. All caster spells that require a specific level of devotion also require one less. And then all characters, we lose diplomacy per level of devotion, but we gain martial. We get 20% less monthly piety and different faith opinion minus 15. Members of this culture believe that the best missionary is one of carrying a sword. While support for holy wars are widespread, motives are scrutinized as to make sure the divine powers would approve. And then lastly, we have Easterling mercenary culture. So gains a decision to recruit open terrain commanders. I think we have a lot of plain terrain in this region, so that will be good. Wanderers gain extra combat skills over time, such as martial prowess or commander traits. Knights in mercenary courts rapidly gain prowess. Idle courtiers are much more likely to become wanderers, allows to become adventurer decision, and characters are more likely to become adventurers. Available mercenary companies plus 200%. All characters gain more prowess. Same culture mercenary higher cost minus 40%. And minus 20% levy size. Often divided, the Easterlings of the inland sea of Rhûn and plains of Middle-earth have developed a culture which proliferates mercenary companies. The gold brought back by these warriors helped to support many communities and have tipped the scales in many a war. But these same mercenaries are not without their pride and will more willingly fight for their own people than another, even at a lower pay. So, with all of that being said, now I think we've read everything, we've got immersed, and I think when it comes to men-at-arms, let's see, so we have heavy infantry swordmen, we have our halberdiers who are spearmen, and then we have our cataphracts, which are heavy cavalry. So I'm likely going to be focusing on these guys. 156 gold, very expensive. But 17 minutes in, we've got everything covered. Let us begin the grand adventure. Because we have a region exploration available. Captain Bountig of Bountig's Wandering Band. I've heard tales that you possess a strong sword arm and a keen mind. I am assembling a host in the western lands to seek a new safe domain for us to settle. I shall not deny it would be difficult. The horsemen of the Green Plains are strong. But I do not doubt in our victory. Join us, and I shall make you a captain and grant you a choice of the spoils, mayhaps even land, if you're so inclined. So this is the great raid in the west that we heard about before we started the game. Let us take the contract. I shall join this great raid in promise of riches and land. I have heeded the call and now begin my long trek westward. In my wake, I leave behind my childhood, my love, my innocence, and all that I have ever known. To what do I march? To glory? To death? Or to some other destiny? Well, I do not yet know. There is naught but forward. So now we start our journey westwards, where we shall join the great raids on the green plains of Rohan. Oh, this is exciting. I think you guys, anyone who loves lore and the slower play style that I like to advertise here on the channel, I think you will love this playthrough, and I really recommend to try it yourselves. The afternoon is quickly advancing into nightfall as we enter the local farm estates of Riavashad. The estate owner, Aluap, greets us warmly and promises to host a lavish feast for us. Once the feast starts, we dine on a veritable menagerie of roast animals, stews, soups, bread, and the like. In the morning, Aluap approaches me as I enjoy my breakfast. My lord, hosting such an extravagant shindig as yesterday can be rather expensive. I mean, why would you invite me then? You should pay me for that prestige that I brought to your farm. Aluap? Oh dear, right. I gain 50 gold, but we grow closer to our rivalry as well. More importantly, we get closer to being able to recruit some cataphracts, which will be a very nice addition. Hired muscle. We're not going to be doing these other contracts, for I am busy. And there we go. The war has instantly started. And we are dangerously outnumbered. Look at this armor. Oh, it's so bloody cool. Helm Hammerhand. The last time I fought against him, it didn't go so well. But maybe we will be more fortunate. Let us follow you into battle. I am leading the men. I get the cool helmet as well. Yes! And I guess, where are you going? There's only one entry, right? Because there's a bridge here. We gotta cross the river Eisen, I think this is? No, the Anduin. The Eisen is over there, you bloody fool. Hence the name Isengard. How terrible with names, guys. You know that. Right. Let us set off. I think... Are you... Wait, where are you going? Oh, you're going to the other bridge, I think. Let me see. Oh, no, you are going to that bridge as well. We're just taking a different route. Okay. I will wait for the main army before I charge in, because we are heavily outnumbered. Who knows? I was promised victory and riches and land. I will trust in the leader of this war. What is this war for? We're raiding for captives, which will contribute to our future economy. Let's see. Few champions, but I can't do anything about that right now. We did get a free supply tent for our camp, which is very nice. And I just realized I forgot to pick a bloody lifestyle. Right. I should probably go for Marshall if I one day want to unite the lands of Rhûn. What I might also do, though, is wait just a moment on that. For reasons that will become very clear soon. Right, there we go. We have linked up. Apparently their way was equally as fast. Oof. I find myself making such noises when sitting down at a campfire in the evening now. The elders always talk about how that happens when you get older, but I'm only 17. No, such is the wear and tear of life lived rough. I can see the toll it takes on the others too. Hesnev winces a bit as he slumps down next to me. Do you know what, lads? I think we can pay for a night in an inn. Let's rest. Let's make sure we are ready for battle by the time morning arrives. Right, where are we going? We're going to raid here first. Okay, I shall follow you. How long to get this siege off? 11 months. I don't see any enemies on the horizon yet. I shall continue to scout. Oh, they have arrived. Right, let's go 3 times speed. I shall follow the army. I can't actually link to them. It's not looking good. None in my camp are intimately familiar with the terrain in Eastwheel, and such lands are not to be trifled with. It is for this reason that I find myself standing in front of a local guide, bartering for services to be rendered. It is no joke out there, she offers, drawing in air through gritted teeth, a theatrically worried gesture. You need either of these maps or my services. I can tell you that for free. She is right, but there's something about her demeanor that makes me hesitate. Oh, you are Rohiric. There is no need for your services, I am sure. We are currently at war with your people. Speaking of which, the Battle of Eastwheel has gone terribly. So terribly, in fact, that Obad the Chaste has been taken prisoner. How badly did we do? We lost 700 men and was only able to kill 17, which is rather unfortunate. The promise of riches and land looks like it was all a lie, and we have faced defeat in the Green Plains. I should have known better. So young, so foolish, still blinded by gold and glory alike. I could only watch in horror as the horsemen of the Green Plains scattered my fellows and slaughtered them near to a man. What few survived and I begged for death. Only by the grace of the gods did I survive, slipping away in the chaos as the battle turned ill. Shaken as a leaf, I abandoned my armor. Frantically, I think back to the meetings before it all went wrong, and those maps. Such small scraps of paper, and yet now only my only survival. At last, calming my breath, I open my eyes once more and find the sun. The hour is late now, and as such I can tell east from west. Death alone awaits me if I go east, west, or north, for the horsemen were many, and I know they went those ways, so the south alone remains. A different terror is upon me now. Legends speak of the south, and all those who live there. Men tall as giants, demons of hate made flesh. Our foes of old, it is said. Builders of monumental houses and fortresses my people cannot dream of. Thy gazes pierce the mind, and read the hearts of those who come before me. Then, if I dare this road, will they slay me? Will they know me? Yet I have no other choice. This is the only path left to me. I must master my fear and walk to an unknown dune. So we travel to Minas Tirith, the capital of Gondor. So as you can tell, you do actually have to join that first war, and you're not supposed to win it. In my first test, I spent like 20 years building up trying to win that war, and then the devs kindly told me that you're supposed to lose it. That's where all the content is locked behind. Right. So we have already tasted defeat. And now we must travel south to the lands that I fear most. Growing up, I would hear tales from the old folk of demons and giants roaming the lands. We shall see if there is any truth to their words. Bank! I hear Hesnev shout out in panic. Soon thereafter I hear a loud cracking sound, like that of wood breaking or of my patience finally snapping. I step out on the leaves to see the splintered remains of a wagon wheel. My wagon wheel? I am sorry, my leader. It was my turn as lookout, and I fell asleep at the reins. I'll bloody fix it myself. It's a good thing that I'm strong, eh? What would we do otherwise without me? As we continue through Harami, my eyes catches an elaborately decorated tomb amidst a network of common graves. The tomb appears to be cracked open, and just within its mouth I see the glimmer of some unknown treasure. None but my party appear to be around, and surely whomever once owned the contents of this tomb would not cast judgment on me for taking what would otherwise go unused. I think, I am ambitious. We do need the gold. If I am to form an army and one day return, do you know what? I am sure that nobody would notice. There we go. We get the 50 gold. I love these weather effects and animations, by the way. It's bloody amazing. Thunder echoes ominously overhead, a dull interruption to the lashing winds and whipping rain working on scattering our convoy. Distant cries echo up and down the line as carts and animals sink into soft earth. The storm doing its level best to wash us all away to the underworld. Children and elderly shiver in miserable silence, soaked to the bone and wondering when hypothermia will begin to set in. The air crackles with static and tension alike, my followers on the edge of breaking. Ooh. Okay, this is dangerous. Come on, lads, put your backs into it. There we go. We saved the day, we gain prestige, and everyone gains opinion of me as well. When I say everyone, I mean Hesnev. I don't think we're being unreasonable, snarks the cook, who presumably drew the short straw and coming to speak to me, waving an arm dismissively at the surrounding terrain all the while. There's plenty of farms here, even if they're not great ones. It cannot be that hard for us to pause briefly and stock up on some of the little luxuries that make our food bearable. I sigh, weary of the conversation already. I wonder which of us will break first. I glance around at the near infinite desert stretching away in all directions forever. Do you really see anywhere to buy provisions, you bloody idiots? I gain so much stress because my cook is a fool. Which leads me on to lifestyles. I do want to go martial at some point, but I'm wondering, if we look at wandering, this one lets us lose a little bit of stress, but that's only when we're focused on it. Maybe we have other ways to lose stress though, but this would be very easy. Let us see. Or do I focus on martial? We get our traits up ready for one day when I return to Rhûn with hopefully an army behind me. I think we would go for Valor. And I will focus on this and focus on the long run. We just need to be wary of our stress. And when we have opportunities to lose some stress, we should take it. Hesnev is in charge of our food supplies and sheepishly revealed our provisions are now all but useless, having been poorly stored. Patches of mold cover the bread and produce, and we have quickly used up our remaining dried food. The party grows hungry as dusk begins to fall. Such high chances to become ill. I'm sure the locals around here must have something to offer us. And we have just passed the Black Gate of Mordor. Another place that I have heard horrible tales of, when growing up. Let us pass quickly. Long after night has settled, I find myself laughing, telling stories, and drinking with Heznev. I didn't know he had it in him, but Heznev ends up telling a particularly ribald story about 4 peasants he had seen in Rhûn. After drying my eyes from the laughter and drinking a bit to clear my throat, I will... Do you know, I'm going to ask him to tell another story. Let's lower some of our stress a bit. And for the first time in the distance, the fog on the hills, I can see the white peaks of what must be my future destination. There's no way 2 ways about it. Whether from weather, terrain, overloading, or simple bad luck, some malady has gotten into our camp's pack animals. They moan, they bray, they walk, but it's all growing slower and more sluggish by the hour. Never mind the day. Some of the horses have clear fevers, and one of the older mules looks ready to die. But dire threat if it spreads any further. We don't have a very good chance to treat them here. Do you know what? I think we can redistribute our gear until they recover. There we go. We have eased the burden, gained prestige, and also some opinion. Morning brings a report that a man-eating beast has struck again. 2 missing from last night. What's left of them found not too far past the perimeter, just tangled scraps of flesh left by some huge beast. The sentries can't get a look at the damned thing, whatever it is. It's got a taste for us and seems smart enough to follow after us during the day or early evenings. I cast my eyes to the carpet of hills we weave through, each breaking easy sight to the opposite side, making it easy for an animal terror to stalk after us, watching, waiting, hunger slowly building for its evening meal. So I could tighten the watch, I can take the lead, but this could be, depending what it is, could be rather dangerous. Let's see. I'm going to tighten the watch for now. And there we go. It has been intercepted and dispatched off. And now we must look for a river crossing so that we can arrive at Minas Tirith. But first, another fearsome beast. We walk the wood path at a good pace, enjoying the peaceful ambience. From the corner of my eye, I am sure I glimpsed the sharpened tusks of a loud squeal confirms it. It is a boar. The black beast charges onto the track, its great trotters kicking up leaves flanked by trees. It completely blocks our way forward to Pelennor. Heznev whispers, just look at those tusks. There's a 10% chance I die. Do you know what? Heznev, kill it! Now! Heznev has become wounded. And we need a physician. Oh, damn it. I could make Heznev my physician. He's terrible, though. He is terrible at it. But you know what? It might be better than having no one. Let's also put you on advanced research. Although we're losing gold. So for now, I'm going to keep you like this. Hopefully you can learn to heal yourself. To the brooding, Captain Bountig. I am willing to release Obad from my care, but freedom does not come for free. Consider my offer. 10 gold, and Obad would return. Do you know what? I will accept this. Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. And you... Oh, we have a quartermaster now. Provisions and supply last longer. Yes, Obad, you're going to become the quartermaster. And I'll tell you what, you're also going to become the caravan master, so we travel a bit faster. There we go. All things are back as they should be. And we have arrived in a strange land, but I'm going to leave it there for part 1, guys. I'm going to record part 2 straight away after this. As you can tell, this playthrough is going to be a lot of reading, there's going to be a lot of events, but there's also going to be a lot of cool lore. And the story really does develop, and it's awesome. Just trust me. But thank you for watching. I am going to take name requests for this series. Of course, we can't marry right now, but if you want to name a future child, then leave me a single name, tell me whether it's for a son or daughter, and then give me an education focus. This way, it just gives everyone a chance to name a child as well. I'll limit to 1 at a time. And yeah, and I'll put them on the list, and when we have children, I shall take from the list. But guys, thank you for watching as always. I'll see you next time.